All right, welcome back to another deep dive. Football never sleeps, and we've got a really interesting story for you today.
Yeah, there's always something going on in the world of football, that's for sure.
So get this. We're diving into the story of Chelsea's longtime goalkeeping coach leaving the club.
18 years, that's a pretty long time.
Yeah, it's practically unheard of to stay at a club like Chelsea for that long.
Especially in modern football. Managers come and go so quickly nowadays, and they often bring their own coaching staff with them.
Exactly. So it really makes you think, what would make someone leave after being so embedded in a club for almost 2 decades?
Well, it turns out he's off to join a pretty familiar face.
Oh, and who might that be?
Drumroll, please. It's none other than Thomas Tuchel.
No way. So it's a Chelsea reunion over on the England national team? That's pretty cool, actually.
It is. It speaks to the level of trust and rapport that they must have built up over the years.
So let's start with the basics. Who is this goalkeeping coach, and why was everyone so surprised to see him leave Chelsea?
So we're talking about Henrique Hilario. He actually started as a player for Chelsea back in 2006.
Wow, so he's been there even longer than 18 years then.
Right. And then he transitioned to a coaching role back in 2014, eventually working his way up to become the head goalkeeping coach.
Okay, that makes sense. But if he was so happy at Chelsea, why leave now? What made this opportunity so special that he was willing to walk away from such a long-standing position?
Well, like I said, he's joining the England national team. And Tuchel, the New England manager, was the one who brought Hilario into the coaching setup at Chelsea in the first place.
Ah, so there's a history there.
Yeah, they obviously have a good working relationship and a shared understanding of the game.
I've always wondered about those kinds of dynamics in football. Do you see a lot of managers bringing their trusted coaching staff with them when they switch clubs?
Absolutely. It's extremely common. It's all about having that familiarity and shared vision. When a manager comes into a new environment, they want people they can rely on, people who understand their tactics and methods.
Makes sense. It's like building a dream team, not just with the players, but also the people behind the scenes.
Precisely. The coaching staff plays such a vital role in any team's success. You need those strong relationships and that sense of trust to really thrive.
So it sounds like Hilario leaving Chelsea to work with Tuchel again is a pretty big deal.
Oh, yeah. It definitely sent shockwaves through the football world. And there's more to the story, too.
Oh, there is. Spill the tea.
So apparently, Chelsea didn't want to let Hilario go without a fight. They offered him a new contract, but there was a bit of a catch.
A catch? What kind of catch?
Well, Hilario wanted to do a job share, split his time between Chelsea and the England national team.
Oh, hold on. He wanted to coach at both clubs. That's pretty ambitious.
It is. But Chelsea wasn't too keen on the idea.
I wonder why. I mean, surely having him around even part-time would be better than losing him altogether, right?
You'd think so, but maybe they felt like they needed a dedicated goalkeeping coach who could focus solely on Chelsea.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess you can't really blame them for wanting someone fully committed to the club, especially when they're competing at such a high level.
Right. It's all about priorities. And for a club like Chelsea, winning trophies is always the top priority.
So Chelsea might be a bit disappointed, but I bet Tuchel's ecstatic to have Hilario by his side again.
Oh, absolutely. And this time, it's on the international stage.
Speaking of which, for those who might not be fully up to speed, remind us what Tuchel's new role entails.
So Tuchel is now the manager of the England national team, taking over from Gareth Southgate. It's a massive job with huge expectations. He'll be leading England into major tournaments like the World Cup and the European Championships.
Yeah, no pressure there. But it sounds like he's assembled a pretty strong team behind him.
Yeah, and he's already said publicly how excited he is to work with both Hilario and Anthony Barry, his assistant coach. They've got a great team spirit going on over there.
So we've got this Chelsea reunion happening over at the England national team. It's a pretty big shakeup. But I'm curious, what does all this mean for the future of English football?
Well, it's definitely sparked a lot of debate and excitement. Tuchel is known for his tactical brilliance and his ability to get the best out of young players.
And now he's got Hilario there to help him develop the next generation of English goalkeepers.
Exactly. It's too early to say for sure what impact they'll have, but there's a real sense of optimism surrounding the national team right now.
It does feel like a bit of a fresh start, a new era.
You could say that. There's definitely a lot of potential there, and it'll be fascinating to see how it all unfolds.
Well, that's it for this deep dive. But before we go, I want to leave you with something to think about. We often focus so much on the players, but what about the coaches? What about the people who work tirelessly behind the scenes to shape these teams?
It's a good point. We often forget about the contributions of the coaching staff. They don't always get the recognition they deserve, but they're absolutely crucial to any team's success.
So as you watch England play in their upcoming matches, think about the influence of people like Hilario and Tuchel. Think about the hours they spend analyzing tactics, training players, and building that team's spirit.
Sometimes the real heroes are the ones you don't see on the pitch. They're the ones quietly shaping the game from the sidelines.
That's right. So next time you're watching a match, remember that there's a whole team behind the team, and they all play a vital role in the final outcome.
And who knows, maybe we'll see some of that Chelsea magic rubbing off on the England national team.
Wouldn't that be something? But we'll just have to wait and see. Until then, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep into the stories that fascinate you.
That's what it's all about.
We'll catch you on the next deep dive. Until then, goodbye.
See you next time.